Welcome everybody, thanks for joining. Today we are going to talk about Eclipse Che, which is an open source project. We are going to be focusing on the Eclipse Che on OpenShift, but that's also mean that it's running on native Kubernetes. My name is Sergii Kabashniuk. I'm a software developer of RedHat DevTools team, Ukraine. Okay, a few words about Eclipse Che. So this is a open source project under Eclipse Foundation. About 100 people already made a contribution to this project. Until this date, we made more than 100 releases and keep doing that constantly. And we are web-based integrated development environment. You may start asking yourself how you can benefit from this product. Does it has more feature like IntelliJ, or it's faster or lighter or use less memory than a Vim? And in this case, the answer will be no. We are not trying to compete with the desktop tool. We are trying to solve a bit different problem. So before I start some interesting service, I would like to play a small game, and I need one volunteer. So only one. It will be very quick. One, who? Okay, so come on. It's not fairly true, but okay, let's play this game. So imagine I will hire you in the Acme company. So you are going to develop a microservice application.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, present yourself. What is your name?
I'm Santa.
Okay, welcome. So what is your favorite programming language?
Java.
Java, perfect. Your favorite operation system?
Linux.
Linux, cool. You prefer desktop or laptop? To programming?
Laptop.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to hire you in the Acme company. I give you a laptop with operation system you like. And the idea, you need to, this will be very simple for just simplicity of the demo, very simple application like Pet Clinic, Spring Boot, so it's Java in one container and MySQL in the second container. So your job to set up environment on the laptop, to start reproducing issue, to start debugging and fixing the code. So let's think about which kind of software you need to install.
Okay, maybe I'm not a good guy.
Okay, let's think about the source code in Git. So you need to install Git. Yes.
Yes.
Correct. So second one, it's a Java application, so you need to install Java.
Yes.
So
I have to install MySQL.
You don't have to install MySQL. Yeah, you probably should, yeah. Because microservice, so you have to install Docker.
Yeah.
Okay. Java. What else? This is a Maven application, so you need to install Maven.
But if I have Docker, I don't have to install Java.
Maybe. Okay. Ideal situation. How do you think? How much time it will take you, and how many action you need to reproduce the environment on your laptop? So a laptop has operation system. That's it.
Maybe 2 days.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What if?
No, but if I have nothing installed and
nothing installed, just operations.
I have no defined configuration files or
nothing.
Files that
you have to read readmes to install everything.
I would say 2 days.
2 days. Cool. Who feel the same? Like maybe half a day. My estimation was half a day, but half a day. Okay. What if I tell you half a day? So you want that? What if I tell you that you need just a single click and about 30 seconds to reproduce this environment? You see it? So this is an issue in the code. So just please, this is a link. Can you click on it? Son?
Okay.
Just click. There's a button. Yeah. So what is happening right now, Eclipse Che is trying to reproduce environment to develop this application. It's starting running containers and injecting some tools to give you access like a terminal, to give to have a shell, to give ability to execute some commands. So in a second, we have the full features IDE. Because now the IDE is cloning your code to your environment.
So did you have to pre-configure and tell it what application to load?
So
or?
Yes, so the person who are preparing environment once will do that, but the worker who needs to start working actually, he needs just one click to reproduce all of that. My estimate, half a day, his estimate 2 days. And it's happening about less than a minute. Thank you, Sam. So this is a full feature IDE. We come back to it later, but you see that one of the examples is to make it reproduce an environment very quickly without installing anything. So there is an interesting Evans data survey happened last year. According to the survey, about 90% of the folks think that they are going to move in the cloud in next couple of years. And 66 of them believes they are going to adopt containers. But with that comes new challenges. Like we take a look in our customer database, and we saw that about 24% of the team time, up to 24% team time, they spend for config and setup. And that's because the complexity of microservice application become more and more complex. So if I remember, like 10 years ago, in my experience, had the Java application from top to the bottom, front end and back end, like it was a Java 5 period, which takes very long period. Application server wasn't changed also for a long time. So at that time, things changed very rarely. But now, when we move to microservice world, we can leverage variety of different languages or infrastructure. For instance, Eclipse Che and Kubernetes, we have a code on the Java, we have a code on the Go, on the TypeScript, and we as a team responsible to, and all of that things changes dynamically and almost constantly, and we as a team responsible to adopt those changes as soon as they come. And if you think even individual small change can be really small in time, but if you combine all of that time, it becomes a huge time drain. And another challenge that 31% of the CERT thinks that production deployment wasn't the thing that holding them back from adopting containers, but the actual problem is to make developers to use container platform. That is challenge. It requires some culture shift, technology shift, and process shift. And Eclipse Che on OpenShift is really designed to help to facilitate that. As you see in our exercise, it accelerates project onboarding. It helps when you develop your environment once, configure everything, the containers, replicating it becomes very easy. It's just like a single click. Another thing that Eclipse Che tries to solve, it helps to remove inconsistencies, like but it works on my machine. And if you think about, there is an opposite issue, like it's not working on prod. How can I break it on a dev so I can reproduce issue quickly, start coding, and start contributing back? Another interesting point is protecting source code. It's not going to log somehow it. It's still in the source like a hit. But if you think about, instead of pulling source code on a laptop, which is hardly to secure device and easy to lose device, is going to put the sources on a centrally managed OpenShift cluster, which is more easily to secure and less likely to lose somewhere. One of the coolest feature, which is I would like to admit, that Eclipse Che is the LSB client. So what is LSB? Language Server Protocol is the initiative of Microsoft, supported by RedHat, to define the common protocol to deliver language-specific feature to any compatible client, and Eclipse Che is one of the client. That means if you have a Python language server, it delivers the same feature for Eclipse Che, for VS Code, for Atom, and you don't have to write specific for IDE code to add language support, which you like. A few news from the field with a new release. Kubernetes become our first level citizen or infrastructure. We made a Helm chart to easily deploy Eclipse Che on Kubernetes. We add hot update. So now if you have a big installation of Eclipse Che, you can update it without interruption of service. We add CLangD language server, which means that you can develop anything on C, C++. And let's actually take a look live. End of the story of development feature, which we saw at the beginning. So let's take a look on the original issue on the GitHub. This issue tells that, sorry, GitHub is a bit slow. So the issue tells that this is a pet cleaning application with the list of owners, and there is a bug that then you are searching by last name owner. It gives a full list of the owners instead of the specific one which you provide. So I will try to reproduce this issue, start trying to write the code, write testing, debug it, test it, and make a contribution back again. So we thought that, is it good for everyone? So I have my sources. I have two running containers. One will be for using for web application, another with my SQL database. First of all, part of the definition of workspace, we have a commands. So the one who are building a link, we call it link factory to build the workspaces. He also add me a set of commands, so I can build, run, test, debug, do everything you can imagine with all of this container. So let's try to build.
Where is your environment? Is it on the
Right now, it's running on OpenShift on my laptop. So I took this configuration just to make sure we have no internet. In case of internet fails, we have something. So I run this is running on OpenShift. I can show you the to make sure. This is OpenShift, which is running on laptop right now, but you can centralize on some cluster. This is a Che server. Keycloak, it's...
So you got a specific container for Eclipse Che?
Yes, yes, yeah. It's a microservice application. So this is a Che. We're using Keycloak to identity management. I will come back later. And Postgres database to store any content. So build complete. I will try to reproduce the issue. So I need to run actual application. In a couple of seconds we will see that. So as part of the command the preview link, so then server will start. I'll be able to just click and see the application and start reproducing the issue. So now server starting. So it started. Let's take a look. Not yet. Yeah, we have server started. So let's try to reproduce the issue. So first of all, search everything. We have a list of the owners. Let's try to find Davis. Yeah, so instead of giving me these two persons, give me a list of the full list of the owners. So the first step complete, we reproduce the production bar in our development environment. So let's start thinking how to fix this issue. So probably it will be somewhere around owners. So we have an editor. So all functionality right now based on GDT, but not GDTLS. We are planning to replace Java support to GDT language server soon, I guess this year. So, but you can find that auto-completion is work. All you expect from the IDE IntelliSense is working. So let's take a look about owners tests. So I see that some tests are commented. Probably someone who broke it comment test by fixing it. Let's try to, and these tests are related to the owners, so let's try to uncomment them. Now I would like to run test again. So this I'm using command to run tests, test running with Maven. But in a second, I will show you another way to run test. As you probably expect from IDEs like IntelliJ or Eclipse, you can run tests differently. Yeah, so test failing is probably we need to find the part of the code which is related to this test. So another way to run test is to run tests just directly from the IDE. Yeah, so test failing again. Let's try to find the part of the code related to that. Yeah, so the code was pretty simple. This is the wrong comparison. Just, let's take a look and if it really helps. But instead of running test again, I would like to show that debugger is also working. So you can debug test. Yeah, so we have debugger here. We can evaluate some expressions. Okay, so the debugger is working. Let's find if tests are working too. Everything is working. Tests. So our next step to make sure that test is working, we will run application again to make sure the application is working too. And when we commit these changes and contribute it back again.
Sorry?
Yes.
While the debugging is working, like the remote debugging in the desktop use IDE?
It's working in browser. Everything is running in. So this test started in a debug mode, and server side connects to it, so we can like debug as you debugging in a local. But all debugging happening in cloud right now. Am I? Removed. Yeah. So test is working. We fix it. Let's run it again. And make sure it's doing what we expect. Yes, so we fix this issue. So now we're going to contribute code back just from the IDE. I'm committing changes in a branch. And we have a special tool for contribution. This is a pull request panel where we can see the repository where we want to contribute, the target branch, branch from which I would like to contribute, title, and a comment for a pull request. What is happening right now, IDE is pushing code back to the original repository, create pull request, and give me a link. So we have a pull request with the description and the magic button to review your changes. So everybody, actually, the person who wants to review your changes can click on a link, have the same environment needed to reproduce your code, to see the changes, to test actually, to feel your changes. So you don't need to assembly application. You don't need to install anything. Everything is happening in the browser. So you're as like an open source project, and you want to increase give the ability users to quickly add new contribution. You can add this functionality to your service. So what else interesting is here? A Keycloak. This is the Eclipse Che. It's a multi-user application. I've skipped authentication, but I can show you how it looks like. So we are running right now Keycloak beside the Eclipse Che, and it's gives the ability to authenticate user for social login. Let's take a look how Keycloak is looking like. So you as an admin of organization can add identity providers like GitHub. You just need to put client ID, client secret, and that's probably it. So you can add in other social providers like Twitter, Facebook, Google, etc. and everything that's just OpenID or SAML. Another interesting and cool feature here, if you are a big organization and you have the like large structure, you don't want to reproduce this structure again, you can connect LDAP, if you know all of that fields. Another interesting feature, you as an admin can browse the all user who is running, who can log in. You can change password and don't tell them. You can delete them. As an admin of the Che, 1 second please. As a Che admin, you can create the organization inside of a Che. Let's try to do that. You can add members to this organization. You can define the total number, the cap for workspace, the cap for running simultaneously workspace, and total number of total RAM which they can use. Also, you can add sub-organizations, so you can like tree structure of your organization and define precisely the limits for this organization. This is the feature. Another, let me log it out again. So you can see that one of the coolest features, it's a factories. It's this links that you are clicking on it, we call it factories. And the factories, oh, oops, I'm started. So actually edit this factory and adjust some precise the values. You can adjust the how much memory is used for each containers. You can define the commands. You saw that the commands which you're running. You also can add some actions. For instance, you can run a command after user will see a workspace, or you can open a file, some specific file like a pom.xml, then just will be open in the browser. But there is another way to work with Che, is just create a workspace. If you want, we have the predefined sets for workspaces. We call it stacks. So we also have the stacks for variety different of technologies like Java, .NET, C++, everything you might expect. You can write your stack yourself if you didn't find the proper one. That's one of the coolest features. About what's new and what's coming, so we have plans to adopt the Thier as our main editor in the future. I hope it'll happen soon, but actually you can test it right away. You just need to select the proper stack, I guess somewhere here, so you can have it. And that's probably it. So any questions? So if you would like to contribute or contact, please use our GitHub. There you can ask question. Dev list, so you can also connect to us if you would like to. Another way, it's a Mattermost. We are welcome you to see you. And IRC. Thank you. Any questions?
You said that the debugging is working also for C and C++ now?
As I know, we have some GDB debugger as far as I know, so it's supposed to work. Any other questions? Cool. Thank you.